Hey, everybody, and welcome. No, this is the official start now, everybody. You ready? This is the official start. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bishop Exchange. It's me, Des Bishop, with my fellow Bishop, John Bishop, with brother Bradley Hurley, who hates when I use his last name. And this is the Bishop Exchange. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Very exciting news, John.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
Somebody sent me an amazing pun, or somebody put it in the Spotify comments. Do you remember at the end of last week's episode, I believe at the end of last week's bonus episode, we were talking about how the people, because they're the congregation, they need to go out like the apostles and spread the word, the letter from the bishop, from the congregation to the podcast listeners. Somebody messaged in and said, instead of calling us missionaries, we should call us Bishonaries.
Bishonaries.
Bishonaries, people that spread the word of the Bishop Exchange.
I like that. Bishonaries.
So welcome to members of the congregation, but particular special welcome to the Bishonaries, the people that are risking their reputation by spreading the word of the Bishop Exchange, perhaps to non-believers. And this is the thing. This is the great risk. When you spread the word of the Bishop Exchange, sometimes you meet resistance from people who have a firm belief in other podcasts.
This is what it must have been like for Jesus. When he started, he was like the new guy on the block. Yeah. And he was getting his mates saying, will you spread the word? And they were going, yeah, but there's already religions everywhere. There's loads of religions. The Romans had loads of gods and there's loads of them. And he went, no, just this one. Just listen to this one. That's what we're doing. Bringing them
Jesus definitely has a podcast, I feel like.
Here's the thing. Jesus' podcast been?
Jesus' podcast would have been, Walking on Water with...
Walking on with JC. Hey, JC.
It was a life coach. It was a motivational podcast.
Motivational podcast, yeah. You too can learn to walk on water.
Manifestation. But here's the thing: Judas thought he should have been the co-host. Judas thought he should have been the co-host.
Judas was the Bradley in the corner.
Classic.
Waiting to sell us out for 12 pieces of gold.
Silver, I think it was.
Silver, 12 pieces of silver. I think you're right. I think it was 12 pieces of silver. It wasn't even gold, Bradley.
Yeah.
You're going to sell us out and go and work on another podcast for less than gold. You know what the British Sign Language sign is for Jesus?
What?
It's I'll have to put the mic down to show you, and then you can describe it.
Okay, I have to describe. So John has no mic on our audio podcast. So he's holding up his hand sideways.
You take your hand up, and then you take your middle finger, you go like that.
That's Jesus Christ?
That's Jesus Christ, yeah.
So you take, for those that don't know, he's pointing his middle finger into the palm of his other hand, but then also doing it on the exact opposite side.
On the opposite side. So
why is that?
Holes in your hands?
The crucifixion.
Get the hell out of here.
I swear to God, like I went, what? When I first learned, I was saying to me, if you were Jesus and you came back and a deaf person went, hey, you
with the holes in your hands.
For fuck's sake, I did other stuff as well,
Yeah, I would have thought you. Jesus Christ, it should have been like, remember all the wine?
Yeah.
For those that don't know, I'm holding up the drinking emoji with my hands.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been the thing. But anyway, there you go.
Hi guys, it's Brad. Just quickly interrupting to let you know that our WhatsApp is finally up and running, so you can now send us voice notes and messages via the WhatsApp. You can access it by clicking the link in the show notes of this episode, or by using our phone number, which is +44 735 3111 341. We love hearing your feedback and answering your questions, so please do get in touch. Enjoy the rest of the episode. Thank you.
So there we go. You never know how a show is going to start. On Walking on Water with Jesus Christ. Today, anyway, God, listen, it's not going to get political, but Jesus was very much about the poor and the sick. And In America, the followers of Christ seem to be really into rounding up homeless people and hiding them away. But, there's a lot of hypocrisy with the old Christians these days.
Fucking tell me about it, mate. There's a lot of hypocrisy with religion. Let's be honest. Let's not go down that route because then we'll end up calling. No, because we'll end up calling.
Let's just stick to the blasphemy that we started with.
The blasphemy is fine. I don't want to get into like what he would be doing today. Anyway, how's everyone's week been?
That's John's favorite question.
I know.
I feel like you say it every single
episode. I know because we start these episodes and I don't really know what we're going to talk about. So I thought, well, I'll ask how everyone's week's been, and that'll tell us what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had the in-laws over, like the brother-in-law with the kids. So I had a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old in the house all week actually, and so that was fun.
Has it made you want to have kids or no?
It never does. I mean, of course, you love it, right? You love the crack, but you're like tired all the time.
Yeah.
And like Hannah and I had to do a podcast on Sunday because we never got to it. To be honest, not only did we not get to it, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
It was only on Monday.
You got no time.
We never did the fucking podcast. We never did the podcast.
Yeah, you got no time. Fuck parents. There's no time. There's no fucking time. Shit like that.
And you know what else? That's it. That's what podcast listeners get so annoyed when you're late on an episode. Do you know that the podcast listeners 2,000 years ago were like, Jesus, where's this week's episode?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, what do you want me to do? I'm hanging on a cross. That's the only reason he came back. The only reason he came back after 3 days was because he didn't want to deal with the online comments.
The online comments about going, where's the sermon? Yeah, come on.
That's blasphemous.
Every sermon. We need to turn up every sermon. I'm at the Mount.
Where's the episode?
There's me and 500 of me mates. I've got some bread, some fish. Come on.
The podcast, I think, actually, I got to be honest, it's not even up yet. Just to continue on the theme.
Wow.
I don't even think the podcast is up yet because we only got it done like yesterday evening. Now that they're gone.
Yeah. But you can only do it. See
Is he froze?
He froze, yeah.
Right, so for those people who are watching this, you'll see that we've moved because I've had to move rooms because my Wi-Fi blocked out. So we're back on. We're hoping it wasn't blasphemy that Jesus has got involved and blocked my Wi-Fi.
It happened immediately after. So
and you would suggest if this was a criminal case, you would say that that's just circumstantial evidence. However,
there is an expression, the Lord works in mysterious ways. And that was pretty mysterious.
We've never started a podcast before with a load of Jesus chat. Ever. Yeah. This is the first Jesus chat starting podcast, and it went tits up. So I think what it tells us is move on.
Yeah. But I will also point out that this is a podcast that has loads of religious sort of what's the word when you're
connotations?
Yeah, well, we've borrowed a lot of religious sort of themes for our names, and we've also sang church songs.
Yeah.
So what we may have done is summoned interest from the heavens, thinking that we were part of the flock. And they he may be a little disappointed with us right now.
Listen to the first 5 minutes and went, well, they can go off.
Yeah, well, you don't sing Hosanna in the Highest a month ago and then not expect the eyes to be on you when you're literally calling out to Hosanna.
Have a look. Get us some more followers, Hosanna. Come on.
Yeah. Anyway,
let me tell you. So I had my dad down this week, which was great. And I've joined the local bowling club, and for the American people, that's not like bowling as you call it, 10-pin bowling. This is like lawn bowling or Crown Green bowling. It's not Crown Green here because Crown Green's in the north of England. I found out, but it's lawn bowling where you're bowling on grass. So I've joined so that I can take him up to the clubhouse and play, just me and him. There's only been one person there. Well, we've been there, and I didn't want to be sneaking on the bowling green. I didn't think that was a good look to be to be with me 84-year-old dad trying to get on a bowling green and
trying
not
to hop
pay.
a fence.
Hop a fence and then running away if somebody comes. So I did that. And then yesterday, I returned home from Frankfurt. Went to Frankfurt for one night to go and see Robbie Williams.
Wow.
And it was brilliant. Really, Eintracht Frankfurt football ground. We went to watch Robbie Williams at Eintracht Frankfurt football ground. He was supported by a group called the Lottery Winners, who were also very good. And it was just a brilliant concert and a brilliant night out. And it's one of those things where you go, there's no other reason on earth I would go to Frankfurt. I've never been. I don't know anyone who's ever been.
But isn't it the financial capital of Germany? I mean,
as I found out, apparently it's the 5th richest city in the world or something.
There you go, bro.
Bonkers.
Come on, man.
What? And it was bombed extensively in the war, so it's got loads of new buildings. But it's the home of the European Central Bank.
There you go.
It's where the dough is, man. I'm telling you, it's all there, all in Frankfurt.
Thinking of moving there to escape fascism. The irony. No, I'm just kidding. It's just a joke. It's just, as a quick, throwing that in there as a little curveball. But anyway, so anyway, that's great.
Yeah,
Robbie Williams.
Good.
Now, would you be somebody who goes and says hello after the show?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, we had a good catch up before the show and after the show.
Wow, that's great. He's a great entertainer, man.
Oh, and that's what he was saying. He wants to entertain. That's his reason for being here now, is entertaining. He's not going to try and be cool. He's going to entertain, and he's funny. But he does this thing. And Bradley, I'm thinking of bringing it into my tour. He gets all the band and all the dancers, of which I've got none. No. And they get in a room, they do a vocal warm-up, and then they do, then they have some hard sort of, what would you call it, hip-hop, some hip-hop to get the vibe going. And then they do a group hug, a group prayer. So they do
group prayer?
Well, they do the serenity prayer.
Oh, okay, so like a recovery vibe.
So but they
which
do
is a great
that.
prayer, by the way. Since we're shitting since we're blaspheming all over the shop, the serenity prayer, great prayer.
Okay.
Do you want to say it, John?
Do I want to say it? Yeah.
Do you know it?
God grant me the faith.
No, forget it. You fucked it up already. God damn it. Yeah, it's grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Let me know when you want to break down that prayer, and I'll talk about its brilliance.
Okay, no. Break it down, because the way Robbie Williams does it with his crew is that everyone's in a huddle. So me and Melanie got in the huddle. We were in the huddle.
Oh, right. You were in it.
So we're in the huddle. And he goes, grant me the serenity to remind me again.
Accept the things I cannot change.
Accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can. And then everyone does an Elvis, and flicks the leg, and then finishes it off. So it's a bit of a serenity prayer and Elvis impersonation all at once.
Amazing.
So, I thought it began with the word God.
Yeah, God grant me the serenity. Yeah. No, you said that wasn't what you did wrong. You said, God grant me the faith.
Oh, did I? Oh, sorry.
You did.
So God grant me the serenity to change the things I can.
Accept
the things I cannot change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
You nearly said, God grant me the serenity to change the things I cannot change, which is like, God grant me the audacity to change the things I cannot change.
But I thought it was the courage. God grant me the
courage to change the things I can.
Right.
It's the second part of the prayer.
All right.
It's a very simple prayer.
I know. I'm making a right mess of this friggin' prayer.
We can't do this prayer on
Like,
your
what-
own.
no, let's
but
break
you know
it
this prayer. There's an importance to this prayer, right?
Yeah.
Because I am associated with this prayer, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I know.
We're getting into some serious narcissism now. It's like, let me tell you how I am involved with the serenity prayer.
Right. Okay. And I'll tell
Let's
you
hear
how,
it, John. Let's hear it.
Right. I'm going to get it on my phone now, so I've got
Oh
it.
God,
Right.
now you got to read it.
It's
It's not fucking serenity prayer karaoke. Come on, you should know the fucking prayer.
Right, and the reason I should know the prayer, right? The reason I should know the prayer is because I think it was about 2014, something like that.
I had a severe heroin addiction.
I had a rough weekend. No, I had a HMV, which is a big retail store over there. We're doing, for people who were bringing out DVDs that year, they picked, I think it was 8 of us or maybe 10, something like that. And he said, we want to do a photograph with you and a quote, an inspirational quote. So I was one of the people that they asked. And so I picked the Serenity Prayer. So there's a photograph of me backstage at the what was then the Echo Arena, the arena in Liverpool, holding a microphone in a suit, about to go on stage. It's a backstage picture, black and white. I mean, this thing's massive. It's like 2 meters by 1 meter tall, and it's got the Serenity Prayer next to it. That's currently in the Museum of Liverpool.
Wow.
Right, because the Museum of Liverpool was doing something about the Beatles Museum or something like that. One of the museums in Liverpool about culture in Liverpool. So they asked for something that I could donate to represent. So I've donated that. I can't even fucking remember it now. I'm getting all the words wrong.
And when you go on IMDb, it says Serenity Prayer, written by John Bishop, 2014.
There it is.
You're the
God
quoted
grant
author.
me the serenity to accept it. God grant
Let's see
me
if
the
you can get
serenity.
it. Let's see if you can get it.
All right. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. The courage.
Sorry, go ahead. I thought you were reading it.
No. I'm looking at you. Well, I'm looking at the. Well, I'm not. I'm looking. That's the camera, isn't it? I'm looking at the screen. So let me get it right. God grant me the serenity to change, to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Wow, John.
You
know what? It's such a motivational podcast. In the great history of motivational podcasts, from Jesus Christ walking on water to the Bishop Exchange, this is one of the great moments.
But that prayer, so he does that prayer mixed with
Yeah, which is perfect. Because you can't take yourself too seriously. Plus, he's a musician, so it's bringing the whole thing together. It's beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Not to mention that they're impersonating a guy who destroyed his life from drugs and alcohol, which not that the Serenity Prayer was originally written for recovery, but in the recovery community has been adopted. They say it at the end of meetings.
Yeah. It was by a Belgian priest, wasn't it?
I actually don't know the history of it.
It's by a Belgian priest, in fact, because on this poster it's got the name of the guy who came up with it. But because I think I read some in Robbie's book that he does that praise to Elvis, you know, like as the
His higher
performer,
power.
the ultimate performer, the ultimate entertainer. But he does that. But the other thing that he did, which I thought was great, and I'm going to ask you the same question. So he drops everybody a question and goes, right, what was who's your first celebrity crush?
He asks his performers?
Yeah. So he'll ask them a different question every show. You know, it might be, what was your favourite ice cream? What was your best kids TV show? Just a little bit of fun. Who's your first celebrity crush? It's a harder question than you think.
I had the answer straight away.
Who?
It was the blonde girl from Land of the Lost, which is a show that I don't think was in the UK. It was like they were stuck in a world where like dinosaurs ruled, and they like were always hiding in caves. And there was a blonde girl in it whose name I can't remember. Bradley, you can look it up. Blonde girl from Land of the Lost. But as a kid, I thought she was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. The blonde girl from Land of the Lost.
How old were you?
Young, man. That show was on like early 80s. But I just remember thinking she was like, I guess, I don't know what you see in a, yeah, that was my first crush right there, baby.
She looks 12.
Well, I was like 8. I was 8. He's like, you know, I was a kid.
You were a kid who fancied a kid? Wow.
What other way?
I know, but when you think back to it now, it looks a little bit odd that you go like that and there's a 12-year-old kid. Obviously, you were 8, but you're not 8 anymore.
But the answer is your first celebrity crush.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I never said your first adult celebrity crush. Mine, which got a very positive response, Olivia Newton-John.
Right, that's a good one. That makes sense.
Good. Everyone went there. Bradley, who's yours?
Yeah, I always say Joey from Friends, but I feel like maybe earlier than that, Dech Houseman and Dech.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just seemed like such a friendly guy.
Yeah. And, yeah. And
I have to say, my first proper teenage crush was either Alyssa Milano from Who's the Boss, or potentially Carrie Wurr, who was like a co-host, kind of like hot girl on Remote Control, an MTV show. So
yeah. But to be a teenager in America at that time must have been cool, because like hot chicks were hot chicks. It was like an industry just making hot chicks just for people. You can't say that now. You can't go, oh, you're a hot chick. Then they would go, I'm a hot chick. You know what I watched last night, actually, that sums all of that up? Watched a film last night. Don't know if you've seen it. I hadn't seen it for a while. I was so glad to watch it. Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh, great film.
Oh, what a film. And to watch it again. But it has that beauty pageant at the end. It's so funny.
I need to watch that again.
Good. Oh, it's so good. But that definition of beauty and this weird thing that they have in America of kids' beauty pageants.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
Oh, fucking mad crazy.
I have a funny story about a teenage crush that I had. So Samantha Fox had this moment where suddenly she was huge in the States. You know? Yeah, man. But you know, she was a Page 3 model, right? But she had that big song. She had the song was huge. And I went to Main Street Flushing to this like poster store, and there was a poster of Samantha Fox topless. And I bought it. And I brought it home, and my mother saw it, and she marched me right back to that store, because I was like 12 years old. I'm like 12 years old. I buy a topless photo of Samantha Fox. She marches me back to that store, and she like shouts at the guy, "Who do you think you are selling this to a 12-year-old? This is disgusting." You know, got the money back.
Oh my god, that seems like a scene in a film, a coming of age film.
Yeah, exactly. Samantha Fox.
Yeah.
Do you remember like the Samantha Fox moment, John?
I do. She was massive, but then it also became too much. You know what I mean?
But I think there's a documentary about her, the way she got screwed over and everything.
Yeah, she got screwed over, and also it was a time there was less protection, there was so much invasion, and because of her route into celebrity through the Page 3 route, she was never taken seriously.
To our American listeners, Page 3 was on some of the British tabloids. They would have a topless model on Page 3 of the tabloids.
Yeah. And
does that still happen?
I don't know, actually.
Should I Google it?
Well, it's from.
But Europeans in general were always more comfortable with being topless, like even on the beach. Americans find that like weird.
Yeah. Oh no, that's the thing actually. Yeah, in America, it's never caught on topless bathing, hasn't it? Why is that?
Yeah, whatever, man. Because it's this version of the American landmass was founded by Puritans, Calvinists.
They didn't do that anymore.
Yeah. So there you go.
What's
Anyway.
that, Brad? You don't do it anymore.
No, I think the last one stopped in 2019.
2019 only. Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
just shows you that was, to think that was normal.
Well, to think that society has gotten better, it's actually worse. They don't do it anymore because there's just smut, quote unquote, everywhere. So why would they do that?
It's mad that people are like, oh, drag queens are like fucking kids up. And it's like, do you
Oh,
still
I
have
know.
porn on like page one of the newspapers?
It's
So funny.
It's a
Who
joke.
said that about drag queens?
The whole
thing.
they basically they have villainized drag queens, sort of like, because I guess they're sort of adjacent to trans people, and trans people are like public enemy number one amongst the right in America, and it's all just a new version of, what is it? Is it gay panic? You know, it's just basically the next version of this Puritanism turned into public policy. So, you know, it's just one version into the next.
Yeah,
we could go through the litany of sort of morality panics throughout history, and
and they've always been there. There's always been some crazy thing going on of people, and it's bonkers, particularly when you go to Europe. And you go to European cities, because, as I say, Frankfurt was bombed a lot in the war, but the old town is old. It's like proper old. And you know, you're going into little buildings that have been there since the 1500s. And you just think, during that time, like, they were burning witches when they built this building.
Yeah.
They had the technology to build.
They were burning
the
witches after that.
I know. But they had the technology to build a building that stood there for what, 700 years, and is still getting used today. And they were burning witches. They were saying to people, they were making chickens talk, so let's burn them at the stake. Fucking mad. Human beings are stupid.
Stupid. It's a fact. And every time we seem to get it figured out, a fucking new thing rises up, which is like, nah, all that's terrible. Let's go back to the way it was before, you know? But listen, you know what you got to do?
Well,
you got to accept the things you cannot change, but you got to have the courage to change the things you can. What do you think you can change?
But I think the big thing is having the wisdom to know the difference.
Well, listen, we never broke down the prayer. It's such a great prayer because, first of all, if you were faithless, the humongous atheist, right? Which actually I am, right? When I began recovery, I was not atheist, but in my recovery journey, I found myself godless, but not in a way that I feel empty inside. In a way, I feel even more deeper connection to humanity and the randomness of life. However, I still love the serenity prayer because it's just a very basic mantra for life, which is acceptance of things you cannot change just helps you to survive in this world. The courage to change the things you can means there are times where you have to step up, you know, whether it's something small, like for yourself, something personal to your life, but also when there's a time where as humans, we need to step up for the betterment of humanity, and anything within the spectrum of the simple to the massive, and the wisdom to know the difference obviously is very important, because you don't want to end up killing yourself with a futile effort to change something that you can't, but also you don't want to find yourself shirking your responsibilities by not stepping up. So it's really a very human prayer, regardless of faith. So, I mean, is that too deep? You got quiet.
No, I like it. No, I like it. No, I do. I like it, and I think, as you say, it's a prayer, but it's also a mantra, innit? At the end of the day, it works for everyone on all levels.
There's a lot of wisdom in there. I mean, honestly, Jesus had a lot of wisdom. The problem with fucking Jesus was the people that fucking believed in him afterwards.
Yeah.
It wasn't Jesus. There's nothing in Jesus's teaching unless, somebody could probably find something, but in my mind, I can't think of anything problematic about what Jesus taught. but I can find a lot of problematic stuff with what people claim he taught, and also other aspects of the Bible which really have nothing to do with Jesus.
Yeah, but that's the same with all religions. Most religions start off with the premise, do us a favor, don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick. If you're not a dick, everything will be okay. So look after people, be nice, don't be and then it's handed over to people as don't be a dick. And then people receive that, look at other people and go, well, this book tells me not to be a dick, but that must mean that they're a dick. so they blame other people for things that are not there. And ultimately, human beings, I was reading this thing the other day about the argument as to why Homo sapiens became the human beings that have survived the most, because at the time there was various species of human being knocking about. Obviously, Neanderthal being the biggest competitor, and they were saying it comes down to acceptance of shared responsibility. So in order for people, there's this what does she call herself? A
anthropologist.
No, but it was something else. Anthropologist. It was like, not psychological anthropologist, but communal anthropologist. But basically, an anthropologist of how communities have grown. And what she's saying is that the benefits of communication and coexistence have come long before language probably came. So human beings have worked together for a collective well-being more so than the other species. Sorry, Homo sapiens have worked together more than the other species of human beings, which is why there's a suggestion that's why we were able to proliferate more than the Neanderthals. Because the basic nature is help each other. If you help each other, it's helping you. Whereas the other species seemed less communal. What evidence they found of them, they lived in smaller groups and they didn't seem to collaborate on things.
Oh, it's good. All that stuff is fascinating. I should really delve in that stuff more. My brother Aiden really always gets into that stuff. It's always interesting when he brings me a new fact about our evolution. So in terms of language coming, which came first? I wonder which came first, language communication or like fun handshakes? I wonder which was first.
I think there was high fives going on long before there was high language.
But obviously the Neanderthals and the other crowd were into breeding too, because there's some Neanderthal DNA on.
Yeah, definitely, and that's the crazy thing, to think that there's and there are some people you look at them and think, I think you got a bit more Neanderthal in you than the rest of us.
But they literally do, you can check the DNA. Some of them do. I never did the check on how much Neanderthal DNA I have, actually.
You've never done your DNA?
No, I did, but it doesn't tell you, it doesn't do that. It doesn't tell you if you have any Neanderthal DNA.
Well, I think everyone's got a bit, haven't they? Have you done your DNA, Brad?
No, never done it.
Never done it?
Should do it.
I've done mine. I'm 65% Irish.
Yeah. No, we talked about that before.
I know. I'm just ramming it home.
Well, I never did it.
Somebody from the Irish passport office is listening.
My brother did it, to be honest with you. And we're 83% Irish.
Yeah, well, you got your passport. That doesn't
matter.
No,
but we were more Irish than we expected, because my dad's dad is English, My dad's dad is from Sussex, but then we discovered, because of ancestry.com. Well, no, actually, we found out very late in my father's life that, and I told you this before, that his grandfather was unknown, that Bishop was my great grandmother's name. But we only found that out very late in life.
I don't think you've ever told me that. Do you know that
Brad,
fact,
do you remember
Brad?
that conversation?
I don't think so.
Okay, well then let me tell the story. So very soon, but right before my dad died, my cousin Stephen and my dad's nephew, he let us know that he had traced back and discovered that our great grandmother, who was Annie Hilda May Bishop, had Stanley, my grandfather, with no husband in 1917. All our lives, my father told me that his grandfather died in the Battle of the Somme, which, to be honest, is still probably true. But my dad was never told that his grandfather wasn't Annie Hilda May Bishop's husband, and that Bishop comes from her, right? So we found that out very late in life. My father wasn't delighted with that information, which is understandable, right? Because you don't want to be told right at the end that one of your origin stories is kind of bullshit, right? So we don't know who he is, that guy, right? He probably did die in the Battle of the Somme, my great-grandfather. But anyway, so as a result, Ancestry.com, I can see Annie Hilda May Bishop. They lived in Christchurch, right? Where's that again? Christchurch? Down south,
Bournemouth.
Right?
By Bournemouth, yeah.
So, and she had like an insane amount of siblings, but her father, the bishop, came from Ireland, which we never knew. So I always thought that Bishop was English, but I had Bishop friends in boarding school in Ireland that were from Wexford, but he actually emigrated from Kildare. His birthplace is Kildare. So my great-great-grandfather was Irish. So that's where the extra percentage came from, which I was surprised about. Apparently, my dad vaguely knew that his great-grandfather was Irish, I think, but like we never discussed that. My brother Mike said that, oh yeah, I think Dad had said that once maybe. But anyway, the age gap joke that me and Hannah tell is that Hannah one time was telling a story about how she knew her great-grandparents and that one of her great-grandparents died when she was 10. So she remembers them. I said, wow, your great-grandparent died when you were 10. My great-grandfather died in the Battle of the Somme. Which, of course, our age gap is not that huge, but that moment really accentuates it.
That is
But you know what Hannah said?
What?
What's the Battle of the Somme?
What's the Battle of the Somme?
But anyway, that's not just Hannah, though. A lot of Americans, they wouldn't be, listen, of course they'd know about World War I, but they wouldn't be as up that, like, the Battle of the Somme was the most deadly battle of World War I. And I cannot verify. The only thing I can verify is that on Ancestry.com, because I've been dying to find out who my dad's grandfather was, I can see that there's a strain of people, mostly in Wales, it seems, that, like, are not connected to any of the other strands. And I'm assuming that they're the crowd that are from him. But we have no idea who he was. But I did a bit of research, and it was very common that, because, like, basically, these guys are going off to war, and either they were having a relationship or whatever happened, but it was basically, I'm going off to war. Let's have a romp. They went to war, got pregnant, she died.
Listen, sometimes I'm going off on tour. And I'm going, come on, like, can we, like, I'm going to go do, come on, I'm going to be away for the weekend. Come on.
But she was young. I think she was like 17. But anyway.
I mean, no, by the way, I was saying that to my wife. Not
I understand. Not
17-year-old maidens who were
no, but
I
looked it up, and there was a huge increase of born out of wedlock children in like 1916, 17, 18. She later married. She later married, and my dad knows the family of people that, like, she married, but I don't think she never had kids with that guy. But they're like, they show up on my ancestry too, but only because the British records show that she got married. But anyway, that was a tough thing to have to deal with. So my grandfather Stanley was raised by a single mother whose father was Irish, but all the records are there. It's pretty wild. He was a laborer, and like I got my great-great-grandmother on there, and then her parents are on there because the British are so good at keeping records. And on her side of the family, you can see, like, they're like, in like poor houses and this crazy shit. But anyway, there's a lot of poverty as you go further back in my family tree from that side.
Yeah, but you got to thank the British for telling you all that.
Do I?
Yeah. If the British hadn't have kept the records, you wouldn't know that your family was in poverty. That the British put them into.
Yeah. And will I thank them for the records, but also thank them for the inequality that created the poverty in my family tree?
I know, but,
Anyway,
but that's the mad thing, you know.
You're not,
again,
you're not getting a lot of thanks for
no,
British
listen,
history.
my line,
Irish.
my line at that time, my family were all in Ireland as well, but it is that thing where you go, and it's the same. You speak to some Indians and so on. Where the British were, they were fastidious about keeping records, so people can find stuff out. But all the stuff that you find out makes you hate the British even more. You think, fucking hell, lads, why are you keeping these records? You just showing how shit you were to everyone. Why don't you just keep it on the lowdown and say nothing?
Yeah, the problem with the Irish records, I have some, and I have my grandmother's birth certificate, but a lot of the Irish records, I'm sure you know this because you did the Who Do You Think You Are, but they were destroyed in
1916.
They were destroyed in 1922, actually. The Irish Civil War.
I thought it was 16.
No, the records were destroyed in 1922, the Irish Civil War, because they bombed the four courts, and they bombed it. So a lot of the Irish records were destroyed in the Irish Civil War. Unfortunately.
Yeah, but I thought it was the post office being burnt in Dublin.
I'm pretty sure it was the Irish Civil War, but I'm open to correction on that.
Oh, Bradley's typing away. What's he going to come up with?
Are you looking up something, Bradley?
Yeah. The loss of historical public records in Ireland.
Yeah.
Yes.
It says happened during the Four Courts explosion and fire on the 30th of June 1922 at the start of the Irish Civil War.
John, let me tell you something. Don't ever fucking question me on Irish. I only have a useless degree, a BA in history from UCC that I never get to use.
I keep on forgetting you did a degree in history.
I have not been able to use that degree many times, but I will give a basic fact about the destruction of Irish records when it's necessary.
Exactly. Okay? And I'll back you, Des. I'll back you. I'm 100%. We should make this point. We were going to say once a week, Des will come up with an Irish history fact. Yeah. So you should have said,
degree. Hey, Siri. Siri.
Siri.
Does Siri actually respond to you when you say Siri?
No, it doesn't. And the problem is, sometimes Siri turns on when I've not said Siri.
Yeah.
And it just starts doing shit that I've not asked it to do. And half of which it doesn't understand anyway. So it's doing poor translations of activities I haven't asked it to do and coming back with results. And that's my defense, Your Honor. And that's why Google Maps took me to that establishment.
Anyway, I want to... There's something that's been on my mind that we moved off the topic, but I have to tell you that lawn bowling is awesome. I don't, you sort of quickly told the story and then you moved off it. But lawn bowling is so fun.
It's brilliant. For me, Dad, it's great.
It's very competitive, and you gotta, you're bowling a lopsided ball, so it's like it's not just like, oh, let me try to roll this down. You got to get the weight and the angle. Serious business.
You go for a jack. There's a jack, which is a small ball that you bowl, and then you bowl after. It's great. Honest to God, it's been great with me, Dad. Really, really good.
This was one of my most aging moments in my life. So my cousin Jo, she's my mother's first cousin, but she's like my Irish mother, Blackrock County, Dublin, and she half raised me, to be honest with you. And we're very close, and she's very into lawn bowling. And last year she took me and Hannah lawn bowling, and my knee was so fucked up that even lawn bowling was an issue. And I thought, this is fucking bad, that I can't put weight into my proper leg to lawn bowl. And I would say that was my rock bottom, that even lawn bowling was like a physical issue.
Yeah. And have you got any better?
Well, I haven't lawn bowled since, but I'd say I could put my weight into my left side. Well, and then Joe would know all about it. Then I'd be showing up. I wouldn't be bowling off my back leg.
Yeah, that makes all the difference to the balance. Well, listen, I'm over. I'm coming to see you next week. I'll bring me bowls.
That's right.
I'll check me bowls in.
Bring it.
Take him on his hand luggage.
Well, you know what's funny?
Lawnmower.
Funny you should say about that. I just found out the other day that West Hampton, the village of West Hampton, has a bocce court, which is basically a boules court. I think most people know boules more than bocce. Bocce is the Italian version. Yeah. So what we can do is buy a set of bocce balls or boules, and we can, for content, have a very competitive game of boules in West Hampton Village.
No, we got a bocce.
Nothing says getting
I like
older.
The bocce.
Nothing says getting older and privileged like playing bocce in the Hamptons.
Hey, you got the bocce.
Here we go again. Laurel and Hardy's back.
Hey, the bocce. So listen, my mate's arrived with his daughter, so I'm going to have to go.
All right.
And go.
Well,
and
we had a good old session, 2 sessions because of the Wi-Fi, and here
we
are.
Brad could make them together, can't he? And you know, the bonus episode went out last week and it went down well, and we'll do that probably every couple of weeks or so.
Yeah,
and next week we'll be in the same facility, the same building.
Yeah, you make it sound like I'm in I'm in prison.
I know, yeah. I don't know.
Prison is 7562. You got to do an episode.
No, it'd be great. It'd be great though, because it'd be great, really good to come and see
It's
you.
Gonna be amazing.
Have a week in NYC. So thanks everybody. I've got to go and entertain my mate and his daughter on the hottest day of the year so far, and we'll catch up with you next week.
All right, and Bishonaries, spread the word, like and subscribe.
Bishonaries.
Thank to the congregation for listening, and thank you, Brother Brad, for all your support.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, guys.
Please don't disappear anymore, Brad. We'll come on next week, and there's just going to be some headphones on the mic. A little squeaky voice going, I'm really here.
Where's Brad? Brad's.
Take it.
Bye.